I think we need some intro music, kind of like we do in the news. I was thinking about that this morning. I want to reach out to DJ Wraith that gave us the music to use. I want to see if he would mind if we use that as make a show opener for this. I think that would be fun. You know, just kind of like I don't know why the trailer's sitting up there, maybe having it some color fade or some weird stuff. Just have it just like, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah. Let Nando get some chips and salsa and Coke ready. He's got the Coke ready.
Chips and salsa.
Chips and salt. Bad to eat chips on a show where you got a microphone going on. You might notice we're sitting down today. Normally we stand up to the show, and I'm sure I will eventually do that. 15 and all right. As you guys know, we have a pretty decent relationship with the guys over at Kicker. Bill and I talk all the time, and that is the biggest complaint I have is, for the love of God, please stop doing 15 minutes of commercials. They drive me up the wall. But they're not ready yet, so
they're not ready yet.
You know, they'll get there though.
Yeah, of course.
Good evening from Hartford. Hey,
what's
look
up,
at that,
guys?
sunny and 78 in your neck of the woods, El Fuego. Hey,
El Fuego.
What's up?
Regino.
No idea.
Oh, hang on.
That. What?
Iztapa. Oh, it's in Mexico. Iztapa. Regino, what's up, man?
Hola. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
There you go. Just playing with the new features that we have. How's your week been, Fernando?
It's been crazy.
Yeah?
Running around.
I already got all those.
Yeah.
It's all done. We're caught up. Yep.
Yeah.
Already flicked them all.
No, we good.
Gotta remember not to keep it on here.
Mm-hmm.
Because we gotta practice so that when it's
right.
recording.
How much?
That's why I keep putting it over here.
Hello.
Not much, guys. That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Hello from San Francisco. Our weather. Weather and supply shortage. You know, that's a good topic. It's funny because we've done okay. We've done pretty decent. Paul buys an obscene amount of product. Some manufacturers have been making quantities of radios that they know they can sell.
Yeah.
And so we've been getting a good supply of those. No Alpines, but Pioneer has finally started shipping. As we said, they were going to start shipping in August. So some of those back orders from 18 months ago are finally starting to come in. And it's funny because we haven't done a Pioneer in over a year. And it's like trying to remember all the hoops you have to jump through to put one of theirs in as opposed to everyone else's radio. It was like,
I don't think it's remembering.
Yeah,
it's just like
it's remembering.
Yeah, hang on.
I know. I'm gonna. Yeah. Hey,
what's up?
What's happening? Zapco amps have been in full stock. I hope that's a rib. Now, I don't know. They could be. Hello from Alabama. And what's up, guys from Los Angeles? Kenwood XRs. Yes, actually, we've had some Kenwood XRs. It's a hit or miss on that one. It is. And there again, I don't know where he's coming up with these radios from. I mean, he's like, I have no idea. But the more expensive radios are, believe it or not, are easier to get because not everyone is willing to spend $1,000 on a radio. So I've been a car fanatic since I was a small kid, and I would like to start building enclosures, and I never built any enclosures. And where is a good place to start, learn, and design a subwoofer enclosure? Well, I know that our audience here is going to have a ton of ideas on this one. Some free places to start, of course, would be going to like Kenwood's website. I'm sorry, Kicker's website. The K always screws me up. Going to like Kicker's website, Rockford's website. They all have apps for your phone, believe it or not, where you can do basic box building and primers like that. SketchUp is a free app. A lot of people use that for designing work and whatnot. If you're not good at drawing, you can use that. And then, of course, there is... All right, give us some other names, guys, of box softwares that you guys use.
Fine.
9907 XR Anywhere. No, there isn't.
What's up, man?
Tennessee checking in.
What's up?
Click on that one. Yep. Is it possible to wire 2 DSP amplifiers on an OEM stereo? Yes.
It is possible?
Why wouldn't it be?
Okay.
The difficulty you run into is that most DSP amplifiers only work one software at a time. So either you're going to need 2 laptops or you're going to have to log out of one and log into the other. So keeping the two, like they won't share the same piece of software at the same time. But yes, you can hook up as many DSP amplifiers as you want. A good friend of ours that works now for Audison, Mr. Christopher McNulty, he did what, like 4 Forzas in a car? 4 Forzas.
I think so, yeah.
Those are 4 8-channel amplifiers, like 3 or 4. It was an obscene amount of numbers. And I was like, have fun with that one, you know, because of bridge channels and whatnot. So yeah, it's just a matter of sifting through and keeping track of all your adjustments as you go.
All right, this is weird.
Looking to retrofit a 2000 OEM 2017 Tahoe infotainment system to a tuner. Is it possible to be done as a standalone? You're going to need some emulation stuff, so because those totally different languages. I don't know if you'll be able to do it. You basically what you'd have to do is figure out a way to power up the 2017 Tahoe on the bench, but I don't think you're going to be able to get the same software into it because
sorry, Johnny.
Like it's looking for things that you're not going to be able to give it. So, man, that's going to be a software nightmare. It seems many YouTube shows, I've never seen you guys do a big 3 battery or alternator upgrade. We have never do alternator because I'm not a mechanic, so I'm not changing your alternator because I'm not going to service your alternator when it goes bad.
Yeah.
We had batteries.
Yeah.
We've done that. As far as the big 3 goes, it's not anything we ever really spend a lot of time talking about. We'll just say we upgraded the grounds and stuff like that, but we don't go like super deep into explaining it on any of the videos we've done recently. I know on Instagram, we did a whole series on Instagram not too long ago in what kind of truck was that? What was that? Oh, it was a Chevy. We did a Chevy truck last month where we went through and added a big battery to the back, added 0 gauge and did all that. We didn't film it though. We just did it live on Instagram. So yeah. Oh, thank you. So the other software that you need, click on we'll come back to that one. Click on 601P. Yep. Is WinISD software. That is also a great box building software. So if you were looking for that, thank you.
There you go. My aftermarket head unit has front out, rear out, and sub out. My DSP, it's a PRV audio 2.8, has an
AB input.
Yeah.
And outputs.
AB input, yeah.
I then have 3 amplifiers, all mono, 1 tweeter, 4 miss up. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
All you're going to be using is your front output. That's it. There are certain DSPs that have minimal amounts of input, and what they're used for is just that. What you're really trying to get into a DSP is just a left and right full frequency, meaning unadulterated 20 to 20 or 5 to 50, whatever it is you're going to feed it. That's all you really need to make your DSP do what you need it to do. As far as like subwoofer level control and fader, a lot of that stuff can be done in the DSP itself. We're just looking for the cleanest signal possible to get into it. Think about it. If you have a DSP that has a digital input of some kind, it's a left and right also. Fader control is going to be done through a controller or just preset into it. So yeah, it's perfectly fine.
All right. Jamie, LC61200 plus the LC 1.800. Recently added DM608. What do I need to do with the crossovers on the LC61200?
Just turn them all the way up. I don't remember if that has an on-off switch for them or not, but you wouldn't use them. You don't have to. So in the cases of amplifiers that don't have on and off, it might have. Yeah, I think it does have off. Either way, in the cases of amplifiers that don't have on-off switches, you just turn it to its loudest or highest or lowest point, depending on whether you're doing a high-pass filter or a low-pass filter. But I believe that one does have on-off switches. But so, for example, if you have an amplifier like the 5th channel or a sub-amp, a lot of the time sub-amps, there's no reason why they're going to have the crossover off because it's not going to be a full-range amplifier. So if your crossover point, let's say you're going to set it between like 50 and 80, if you turn your crossover all the way up to its maximum, which is usually about 150, then the amplifier is so out of the range, it's not going to affect your DSP's crossover.
How will you run the RCAs, a 6-channel RCAs for the head unit to the DSP? If you so, where will you connect the 6-channel RCA on the DSP? Will you run individual 2-channel RCAs?
It depends on the type of RCAs. Like we use a lot of Stinger 4000 RCAs, and we use those RCAs specifically because they make a 17-foot 6-channel RCA that is like paper thin and sounds wonderful. We never have any issues with it. I like to use those when running through a car because they're thin. It's like an inch wide. It's like an eighth of an inch thick, and it just goes underneath the floor. We don't have any issues with it. I'll run that because it'll get me where I want to go. Now, if you've ever seen us install amplifiers or wire up amp racks, you'll notice that they're all neat and the wires are pulled apart and everything's like that. The nice thing about these is you can pull them apart kind of like Twizzlers and wire them up. And then if I have any excess, like if, let's say, one amp was short or whatever, I will do that in the run as I'm going forward where it's going to be out of the way. So up behind the radio, I still have the same 3 sets of RCAs that look really sexy.
All right, Dean.
Yes.
What do you always put amplifiers under the seat, aka Best Buy installs? Why do not do a nice installation in the trunks and display them?
I don't know any Best Buy that does the type of underseat amp installs that we do. But
honestly, I don't even know. Like some of the car audio shops do what we do.
Yeah.
So.
The reason why we put them up underneath the seats is a couple reasons. One, these cars nowadays have very little room. Most of our customers want their amplifiers put in a place where they're not going to interfere with their life.
Yes.
Underneath the seat is a great place to put it. That's why car manufacturers have started taking that real estate away from us. As far as putting it in the trunk and having it nice, it rains a lot here in Florida. And yes, you have to get into your trunk a lot. So on the sides are really the only place for the amplifiers. Because nobody wants amplifiers laying on the floor, tucked underneath the spare tire, which is kind of why would I put it there? I could just put it underneath the seat. So it's just more or less a practical spot to put it. However, anytime we put an amplifier under a seat, Best Buy style, as you say, we're building an amp rack to mount them. So, for example, this particular amp rack is for a Toyota Tacoma. So every Toyota Tacoma comes in, gets this made out of some form of plastic, usually 1/4 inch of some kind, and the amplifier gets mounted to here, and then a ton of zip ties go on it, which you've seen in the videos. It's just a matter of convenience.
All right. I installed a Kenwood Maestro AR DSP amplifier in a 2020 Tundra. It lowers music when navigation speaks in an Android Auto, but it doesn't raise it back to regular listening volume. What could it be?
That's an interesting. I have no idea.
That's an interesting one.
That is very cool. Okay. My question would be: have you called
Maestro?
Have you called Maestro yet? That would be the person I'd ask.
Yeah.
That would
What's
be.
up, X-Man?
I would go there. I would give them a call. They're really good about that. If they're, yeah, that's weird. We haven't run into that one yet.
No, not yet. I mean, no, honestly.
No.
I have a 2020 F-150 with the Kenwood DMX 1057 and an Addison Forza 8.9. I'm having problems with the system noise, please. And the Forza.
What kind of system noise?
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe the gains are too high.
2020 after the Kenwood, yeah, but there should be no noise. There's no gains. In the setup for the Forza, there's 2 settings when you're going to program it. One is for there's like a top one which is for sound quality, and there's bottom one that says more dynamic. I would check where those are. I might check the top one because that's a 5-volt output, which if you do pick the bottom one, you are going to get more floor noise because it's basically making the input sensitivity of the amplifier up higher. So I would definitely pick the top one. That's like the second or third menu when you're doing your initialized setup. The other thing too is I would still do the level track where you're adjusting the sensitivity for the amplifier, even though it is an aftermarket head unit. Just skip over the DEQ portion of it. That's totally useless. But I'd still run the pink noise and let it do it, so the amplifier can look at the signal coming out of the radio. It might be that 5 volts might be oddly enough too much for it. And if that doesn't work, give tech support a call and see what old McNulty has to tell you on that one.
There you go. My Stinger High 10 has front output.
Front, rear, out, and sub out.
I think that was the same.
My
question.
DSP has A and B input and 8 outputs. Okay, you're just going to run the front output into the DSP. You're either going to run the front and rear or just the front. It really doesn't matter. You just need to get a signal into the DSP, and then you're going to use the DSP to do signal routing. So you're all set there.
Hey, Carlos, would you have professional people in Colorado? What is
Yeah.
Hang on, I will get back to you.
Isn't that where he just went?
Yes. What's his name? Elevated
Audio.
Elevated Audio.
Yes.
Try Elevated Audio there in Colorado. So they're pretty good.
I don't know where they're at in Colorado.
I don't know where they are, but they are.
Let's see this one other thing real quick. There's one here. Or did we go away? What was this?
That was you already did that.
Did I just? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. No, I didn't do that one. At Tech Fantastic, Dean and Fernando do both. Don't know where you've been. Trucks behind the seats and under seat stands. Couple often in the truck. Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to read what it said. Sorry, my bad. Can I connect both a 5-channel amp and a mono amp to a single audio controlled DSP? Yes. I'm guessing you're talking about a DM608. Yeah. Your sub output. All right, hold on. All right. Give me 1 second on that one. I will answer that one. Go ahead. You can
Denver.
Denver,
Colorado. Oh, I don't know, man.
I mean, it's worth the trip. I would definitely go.
No,
there.
but like Elevated Audio, they are really good people. Billion stars. I don't know how far they are from where you are.
All right, let me go to my laptop real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so you can do away with that question. All right, so what we're looking at here, even though this says DM810, this is DM608, it really doesn't matter. When you go to the output view here, if you want to use this to power a 5-channel and a mono block, and that means you're going to use both sub channels, you want to go 7 to the 5th channel on the mono block, and you want to use 8 to go to so 7 to the 5 channel, the sub portion of the 5 channel, 8 to the mono block. And then when you're setting them up, you just tell it what you want it to do here. So if we go here, as you can see, that's set up as a sub channel. And if we click this, that's also set up as a sub channel. What you're going to do then is whatever you're feeding it. So if you're coming out of your radio and you have your radio plugged in, like if you have front, rear, and sub, go to input view, and let's say use 3 as your subwoofer input. Then when you go to output view on 7, you'd pick 3, turn off 4, turn off 5 and 6, go back to 7, turn off 5 and 6. And now the 7 output on the DSP and the 8 output on the DSP are both going to different amplifiers and giving you that control.
Paul, is the ACR3 for bass knob or sound presets, but not both together?
It is both together.
Meaning, will I need 2 separate knobs?
No, the ACR3 does both. So default on the ACR3 is a volume knob. If you press the button, it'll change colors, and then you can turn it and go through your 4 presets. Thank you.
Thank you for the 10.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna butcher it.
Salavina.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey.
Just say it fast. Thank you for the $10, man.
Appreciate it.
Let me go over here. I need to do this.
I know, man.
Do that. All right. It's at that point now where we'd like to thank Audio Control for being a sponsor of the show. If you're interested in some awesome car audio equipment, both amplifiers, processors, whatever you like, make sure you head to audiocontrol.com and check them out. Give them a go. See if there's anything they have that you might like. All right, moving on.
Definitely they have what you need. Maybe. I have a 2019 Cadillac Escalade ESV.
Yep.
And I added subwoofer amplifier, but I'm getting a
ANSI.
Yeah, feedback or back feed.
Is it blue-purple or is it purple-blue? At the amplifier, there's a harness.
Is that a gray purple?
There's one wire at the harness, which is a VSS. And I can't remember what color it is. You could probably Google it and it'll pop up. But yes, you can cut one wire and it will go away.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can go into the headliner and unplug all 4 of the microphones. But I thought it was like black, purple, or yeah. But yes, there is a way to bypass it. Just Google bypass ANC on Cadillac. There's one wire at the amplifier.
There you go.
I'm sorry. I wish I knew it right off the top of my head, but.
Which is your pick? Your Sony GS9 or the new Sony Florence screen?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
High res. I would pick the new one.
You know, the sad thing about this, guys, is before we went to that show, he was like, I'm never going to put a floating screen in my car.
Okay.
Oh, it's so terrible. I don't know why I would ever do that. Oh, my God, no. Because I was like, hey, man, we got a high 10. Let's put the high 10 on top of the GS9.
Yeah.
And we do all that crap. And
I say no. Now, I don't know. We'll see. Depends. Maybe. David, what's up? Oh, they are David. Hey,
what's up, El Fernandez?
Buddy.
I'm glad those I recommended work it out for you. Thanks, Audio Control. Thank you, Audio Control. Thanks, Audio Control. Thank you guys for thanking Audio Control. It means a lot. They help us pay the bills. There you go.
Yes.
Yep.
Fuego.
I was just asking why you do that. I'm a big fan of your show.
Oh, about the amplifiers under the seats and all that stuff.
Oh, I wasn't picking. I wasn't offended by it.
A lot of people ask, like, why do you guys put the amplifiers under there?
I think a lot more than that, though. For me, no. I wasn't.
No,
I was just having fun.
No.
With the whole Best Buy.
Honestly.
Oh, speaking of Best Buy, you can shut that one off. Go to the next one if you like. Chris, which I always butcher his last name. Rivera on here, not Rivera. Starts with a V.
Okay.
It's
Chris. It's Chris.
Yeah. Chris. He's going to be on Reverse Polarity and Side Jag Thursday night.
Purple blue. Thank you, Abraham.
Oh, there you go. Purple blue. See, look at Abraham coming through, man.
See, now he's a pro.
He's been asking questions for like 2 years straight.
He knows.
Now he's the pro.
He's good.
But anyways, Chris is going to be on Reverse Polarity for one because I kind of want to talk. He was asking me a question about like customers we get and like what we do. It's like if a customer shows up with all the wrong stuff, what do we do? And I, of course, gave a really in-depth answer to it, which I won't re-give here because twice is way too much. But anyways, I said, oh, it'd be really cool to have him on just to get like the perspective of a Best Buy installer as opposed to independent retail like ourselves.
Oh, we have plenty Best Buy installers. They're really good.
Yeah.
All right. My Toyota OEM setup has 2 dash tweeters.
Okay.
2 door 6x9s and 2 rear deck 6x9s. So would I need a 6-channel amplifier? I'm confused.
AF. The answer to that question is depends. But the reality is no. All right. What could we possibly do with that? There's a bunch of speaker manufacturers out there that make 6x9-inch components. Alpine makes 3 pairs, Morel makes 1 pair, but Focal as well as Powerbase both make 6x9-inch Toyota plug-and-play speakers or integration speakers, meaning they actually come with the brackets for Toyota. So you pull out your Toyota speaker, you put this in, you plug it in, you're done. The idea behind that is how Toyota wires that system is out of the radio or the amplifier, mostly out of the radio if you have the non-JBL. There's 2 wires that go up into the dash. The tweeter has a plug that has 4 wires in it because 2 wires go up and then there's a loop, 2 wires come down and they go into the door. So there's only, the radio itself is only a 4-channel radio, which is telling you only need a 4-channel amp to go in there. When you buy the power base or the Focals, they come with all the harnesses so that you can pull those pull your factory tweeters out, put their tweeters in, comes with a 4-pin plug, you plug it in, put your speaker in the door. So you replace the 6 speakers with 6 new speakers that are working the same way as your factory 6 speakers. Then you put a 4-channel amp in and you'd be rocking and rolling. Why I said depends is because it depends on the results that you want to have. Now, let's say, for example, you decide, I don't want to buy the Focal or the power base. I'm going to go with some Morels or some Alpines or some Kickers or whatever you want to choose. All right, they're not going to come with those plugs. They'll still work the same way, meaning you manually have to connect them. Metra does make harnesses for your car. So if you want to go external harnesses, as Metra also makes speaker brackets, which you can find them at metraonline.com. Let me put that one up here real quick. We'll go to this. Yeah, okay, right there in the middle, metraonline.com. Anyways, in there again, you put a 4-channel amp in, you can rock and roll, have a good time. 6-channel amp will give you a little bit different option because now you can do what's called active, meaning channel 1 and 2 have to have a bandpass crossover on them, meaning channel 1 and 2 have to have a high pass crossover with a 10-time multiplier switch on them, meaning they have to be able to cross something over at, let's say, 3,000 to 5,000 hertz. Most 6-channel amplifiers should have this feature built into them because they know you're trying to do this. So like if you get into like audio control LC 61200, it'll do that. The mid channel, which is going to be 2 and 3, are going to have a bandpass, meaning they have going to have a top, you can only play up so high, and a bottom, which means you can only play down so low. And then the rear you're going to use as full range. If you're just trying to build a basic system, you're going to be fine with a 4-channel amplifier. But yes, those are all the scenarios you could run into. Sorry.
All right. Advice. I did a 2005 Acura TL. When installed customer equipment, he had a JL HT 1200.1, a Rockford T 400.4, plus 2 Ferd cabs and a secondary battery with an isolator. All right. The next part of the question. Customers say the HT 1200 shuts down even after installing the secondary battery. Any ideas why? I'm just new to installing. I never had an issue like this. Hang on. Last I can think is doing the big 3 upgrade.
All right. We need to find out why the amplifier is shutting off first. So there's 3 things that shut off an amplifier: improper voltage, improper resistance, and insufficient cooling. That's it. Those are the 3 things that shut an amplifier off. Some version of those 3 things are what's going to be the issue. Chances are cooling, probably not going to. You're probably looking at voltage or resistance. Resistance is ohm load. The first thing I would check is the ohm load of the woofer. So for example, they hand you a subwoofer in a box, you hook it up to the amplifier. Happens all the time, right? No big deal. You assume that the customer is giving you subwoofers that the amplifier can handle. If not, it doesn't happen. Let's say the amplifier is only capable of down to 2 ohms, and you have a 1 ohm load on it. Doesn't matter how much voltage you have going into it, it's going to hate you and it's going to shut off. So the first thing you want to check is resistance. Find out what's going on there. If you've done that, 2 thumbs up, you're halfway there. Next is going to be battery voltage or voltage coming into the amplifier. There's multiple places you're going to want to check this to find out whether you got it right. The first thing you do is check underneath the hood. Start at the source, where the power is coming from. You have a lot of batteries in this car, so you may need to disconnect some of them to get the proper readings on them. But what you want to do is you want to see, what is the factory battery doing? What is the factory doing after the fuse holder? Make sure that the fuse holders are good. A lot of the times you could just have a bad fuse holder in there restricting the, like a cheap fuse holder or whatever, restricting the current flow, and you're losing voltage there. So put your voltmeter at the battery, at the fuse holder. If they read the same, move on to the next down the line. What you're trying to get to is eventually you're going to end up at the amplifier. And if you're writing down the numbers as you go, at the front battery and at the back battery and at the amplifier, they should all be very similar numbers. They might be point something different, but they should all be the same. Now, once you've gotten those all done on a cold system, meaning it's not playing, start playing the system. See what you get when it's playing, because now you have current draw coming through. Like now you're going to see what's happening. So at a cold point, meaning nothing running, it might all look great, but as soon as that first bass note hits, it could drop down to 9 volts. You have to figure out where. Is it a bad ground? Is it a bad cell in the battery? All these other fun things. If it wasn't a new battery, that battery in the back might be totally useless. It might not be doing anything. So these are all basic things that you can do just to kind of figure out what's going on. As far as the big 3 upgrade goes, really what you're worried about is the ground. Okay, the alternator in the car is only going to put out so much current, whatever it's designed to do. If it's designed to put out 120 amps of current, it's going to put out 120 amps of current. That's all it's ever going to put out. However, the ground in the car might suck. For example, a Honda has a shitty 8-gauge ground that comes off of it. It's about this long, so it's okay because it's only like, 10 inches long. So 10 inches of 8-gauge power could probably handle 200 amps of current. But that's not the world we live in. So we're going to immediately upgrade that to a 4-gauge or a 0-gauge. But you want to look underneath the hood and just kind of see what kind of grounding the car has. Most cars nowadays are actually pretty good. If it's an older car, no. For example, you just posted pictures of Morel the other day. We had to totally upgrade the ground plane on that car because it was literally like 12-gauge braided wire, and that was it. So that got a full 4-gauge grounding kit update on it. Just because we needed that, we were putting an amplifier in the trunk, and the resistance between the front and the back, hell, there might as well not even been a ground in the trunk. So there you go. Okay.
Hello from Romania. I know. Like
okay, sorry.
20 minutes, dude.
Well, I want to make sure he knows what he's doing.
No, perfectly fine. I like that. Hello from Romania. I have a Dees 5-port 1300 and a 2-ohm Focal K2X. Nice. Does the amplifier automatically detect the speaker impedance, or should I do something to make sure the amplifier output it's 2 ohms?
You're done. Amplifier output, no matter whose amplifier it is, automatically sees the resistance. Now, what it does with the resistance, that's where the amplifiers can be unique. Okay, and that's only up until recently. But no, that amplifier, it doesn't care. There's no switches. There's no nothing. As soon as you put a 2-ohm load on it, the amplifier sees that. So as far as the D5 1300 or all the audio control amplifiers are concerned, doesn't matter.
Dude, that's really nice.
Where that has become different is now with a lot of Brazilian amplifiers, is that they're ohm load specific. So for example, if you buy a sound digital amplifier and you're going to be running a 1-ohm mono load, you have to buy the amplifier that's designed to run 1-ohm mono or 2-ohm mono or 4-ohm or whatever.
But not this one.
That's how they're designed. And then, of course, you have DC straight amplifiers, which will also auto-detect. And what DC straight amplifiers are is they have the ability to put out the same power at 2-ohm or 1-ohm or 4-ohm or 2-ohm. But there again, you don't have to switch anything. It just does it internally. And then you have the new Morel amplifiers, which have a jumper inside of them. So if you're going to be running a speaker at 4-ohm to get the 120 or 150 watts, whatever it is, you leave it on one jumper. If you're running at 2 ohms to get the big power out of it, the same 150 watts, you flick a jumper. But those are not what you have. You're fine. Just go, and you're going to love how much power you get out of that amplifier.
Okay.
No, I like this. No such thing as good Android radio.
I agree. It's not a such thing.
Not going to fight that one.
Why would my amplifier not shut off with my truck when my truck is off? It's a Kicker CX 400.1. It's connected to an aftermarket radio with RCAs and remote wire. It's connected to the blue and white
stripe on the radio. It's a CX 401. there's a switch on the side of the amp. Is there a switch on the side of those?
No, it's
for
a
DC
push
offset?
button. I think it's a push
it
button.
pushing?
Okay.
I don't know.
I believe it's a push button that does high level and
don't
low
know.
level.
Yeah, if you accidentally
If you
screw
do
that
in the
one
high
up,
level,
then-
probably sees like an auto sound.
Well, it's looking for DC offset. but
DC
then
offset,
it wouldn't
yes.
turn on though, because the RCA's don't have DC offset, so that wouldn't work. But it doesn't have a. All right, hold on a second. It doesn't have a separate. It might. Audio amplifiers. It's only because it's you, Kicker. It's only because it's you. All right. Did they have a picture here of
DC right there?
No, that one. All right. Let me see this end here. All right. Let me zoom in.
That button right there.
Input level, high level, low level. Okay, so the only mistake you could make on that is if you have the input set to low level. I'm sorry, high level.
High level.
So if the button is pushed in, that would be the only thing that would cause that, because it wouldn't be looking at the remote turn on. It'd be looking at the DC offset, which means it would probably just stay on all the time. So check your switch. If that's out, which is it should be for low level, then you might have a short somewhere in the amplifier. I know that sounds terrible, but that might be the problem. The other thing too is, of course, before you decide that it's bad news, is take a digital multimeter, put it to DC, disconnect the amplifier, and test your remote turn on to make sure it is in fact turning on and off with the stereo. You could also have a blown remote turn on section on the radio. So digital multimeter, check your button. Hey, Car Gift, what's going on?
What's up, Car Gift? Hang on. Lucas, what up? About to upgrade a 4.6 6x8 and a 2010 Mercury Grand Prix. Marquis. Yes.
Grand Marquis.
This live is perfect for the occasion. Thank you for watching, man.
I love the Grand Marquis.
Car Gift.
I know it's a Grand Marquis. I just like saying Marquis.
Anyone making
making
GM tweeters
harness.
Metra makes that, but not all of them.
Not the new one.
Yes,
as you just found out.
Yes.
So sadly.
Man,
I like tweeter harnesses because it's up in the dash and it's easier. Not so much the door ones.
Yeah. All right.
Is there a sound difference between 10-inch sub versus 12-inch sub? Would it be better to run two 10 subs or a single 12-inch sub? Wow, this is all right. So how do you answer this question and have it make sense so that everyone just doesn't lose their minds? Because I know what the problem is everyone's going to lose their mind. There's so many ways to answer this to where it could be the wrong answer or the right answer. Is there a sound difference between a 10 and a 12? If we're looking at X12 and X10, meaning they're the same exact 10 and 12s, the 12 is going to be louder every time because it has more surface area. It has a little bit more power handling. It is always going to be louder. It's just whether you, and they have the same power. So 400 watts to a 10, 400 watts to a 12, 12 is going to be louder. It's just more cone area is going to equal louder sound. Is it enough to where you're going to sit there and go, oh my God? That's entirely up to you. Now, if we're looking at, should I go with two 10s or one 12? The question you have to ask yourself, there again, are we going with the same exact? So we're picking two comp kicker 12s or 10s, two comp 10s, one comp 12. If I'm comparing the same sub things, then my two 10s are going to be louder now because I have more cone area than the single 12. I can also put more power to those 10s, and there we go. Now, if we're comparing like two comp 10s to one Q class 12, now we're in a whole different category where the 12 might or will be louder because it handles more power. Well, there again, I have to give it the more power for it to be louder. If I'm only got 800 watts, I'm giving 800 watts to both, or if I'm giving 400 watts to both, it might not be louder. Okay, so there's a lot of things to consider when you're asking that question. So kind of just put that in your head when you're deciding what you want to do.
What's up, Christian? Oh, man, he had to work today.
He doesn't ever work. He doesn't work. He just talks to people. El Fuego!
Thank you for the 5, man.
With all the challenges in car audio and your work demands, what keeps you guys motivated to keep up great content, you guys?
Yeah.
It's straight up you guys. I mean, the audience is what drives us. Your guys feed the beast as it is. If we were doing this for nobody at this point, it might be no fun.
If you guys don't pop in and say what's going on and all that stuff, that would be like, okay, let's just not do that. Yeah, I know.
YouTube fame and glory. I mean, let's be honest. I talked to a guy in Portugal.
Yes.
You know,
I was more with 25 to life.
Called and talked to, you know, Car Gift many times or twice. Once, I don't know. I've called and talked to him though. I mean, I've heard his voice. He sent me a video. I know what he looks like. I mean, that would have never happened without this. So
that one too.
It's all about.
I like that one too.
Well, we already got the plaque. I mean, we could have ended it there. I mean, I just wanted the plaque so I could be the coolest dad ever.
Money and fame, but
none of that. Groupies maybe, but there are no groupies. I mean, at the end of the day, there is no upside to any of this other than it's like we have you guys to help and have fun with. But I don't know. I mean, we get to do some dumb stuff. I think that was, you know, driving to Kicker and going to Rockford here in 2 weeks. Look, without YouTube, the possibility of that happening was probably pretty thin. So, but that all falls back to you guys. And the only reason why we want to do that is because, let's be honest, who's gone to Rockford and seen behind the tent? Who'd been to Kicker and showed you guys behind the tent before Kip, you know, decided to start doing that? Nobody.
Yeah.
We wanted to bring you guys that. Who's been to Audio Control to show you guys all this nonsense? One of the things, you know, when we set about a mission statement for this channel, it was like, we want to bring you guys to the places that we don't get to see, that we don't get to talk about. We want to have the guests. We want to do all this fun stuff and show it to you guys, because otherwise we're never going to get to see it. So, you know, Kicker was a bucket list, and they were like, yeah. Now we've been there a couple times. Like, I know that whole, like, I was like, I'll be right back. You're not supposed to walk around here by yourself. And I'm like, who's going to stop me? I mean, everybody knows who I am there. It's like, hey, Dean, it's cool. But Rockford is definitely, as Fernando was saying on Instagram before, it's like, there's very little out there of what happens behind the beautiful sign. There's been people that have been there, but, you know, no cameras, please. No cameras. No none of this. Yeah. So
we're gonna bring you a different picture from Rockford.
Dude, it's gonna be great. I'm excited.
I hate to share this, but I accidentally used regular plumber flux on one of my speakers, and I also use resin core solder.
Rosin.
Yeah. I was having a little bit of trouble for it to stick with.
Do I redo it? Am I sorry about I wouldn't worry about it.
If it's working right now?
Well, no. What he's worried about is an electrolysis happening at some point or corrosion forming around the solder point. But I don't think he's going to have any issues with it. There again, if you kind of think about it, plumbers, coppers use the water, or copper terminals. You have really the only corrosion you're going to get is from water. Plumber's solder gets wet all the time. I think you're okay.
All right.
If a Maestro AR and use RCA1, I can use any amp. Then sorry if you answered already. I just put in an impossible to find Pioneer radio. Just putting in an impossible. Why would you use? I mean, technically, the answer to the question is if I'm using an AR and RCA1, not all applications do those two work where you can do that. That's like really specific. It works on the Ford, and it works on like a handful of the other ones, but not on all. So I think it works only. I think it works on the D's, but not necessarily on the A's. Because you need that interface.
Thank you, David.
Damping factor matters in amps. It does. It has to.
The reason why he said that is because we put the amplifiers under the seat. So he said that the factor matters. Any hot, whatever.
Oh, well, the damping factor of an amplifier isn't how much water it can handle. the dampening factor of the amplifier is its ability to deal with the movement of the woofer and the amplifier. So when the woofer comes down, it's feeding electricity back into the amplifier, and the amplifier has to do something with that. Its ability to control that, or handle that, I should say, is what that is. As far as putting an amplifier underneath the seat, circulation of heat would be more the issue there, but most of the time underneath the seat, just like the factory is putting the amplifiers underneath the seat, as long as there's plenty of air movement, we're okay. The nice thing about that is a lot of people get freaked out. Oh, well, there's usually an AC vent underneath there keeping the amplifier nice and cool. And in the wintertime, this is the question I love what we get. People go, what do you do in the wintertime? Heat up the amplifier, because the amplifier is frozen. It's a block of aluminum. It gets cold quick. So having that heater underneath there, remember, there's a min-max for operating temperatures on amplifiers, just like your CD player has a min-max temperature. And I know some of you guys up north, you hit that a lot on Pioneers, because we get a ton of questions of people going, hey, when it was freezing, my Pioneer radio didn't work right. I'm like, I don't know. I don't have those problems. I've never seen freezing. It's like, it's -8 out. My Pioneer radio won't work. Probably not. It's probably outside of its ability to function properly. But the nice thing there again, you have a cold block of aluminum underneath your seat. Nice, just like you need to kind of warm up and get going.
El Fernando, 17 is the 17, brother. Johnny, I have a question. Do you guys have an installation shop in Cleveland, Ohio?
You're talking about 5-star in Cleveland, Ohio, I bet. The owner of that is Paramajit Ahuja. The owner of 5-star in Clearwater, Florida is Paul Ahuja. They are brothers, and that's about it. We're not.
Well, we're not
nothing to do with them. They're just
sharing the name.
They have very little creativity between the two of them, and they all have the same name. If you want to know the third brother, to make things even more exciting, because some of you might know who he is, his name is Bob Ahuja. He's the owner of American Base.
No. Really?
Yeah, both Paul and Bob started that together. Paul decided to get out of it and go to the retail side, and Bob kept the American Base name, and there you go. They're brothers. Small world.
What's up, Jim? I bring my truck with equipment to have in stock. I talk to either one of you because... All right.
Yes, you'll probably eventually get me on the phone. Yeah. It's just a matter of me getting time during business hours to talk to you on the phone. So if you've called or emailed or something like that and left the phone number, then you'll eventually get a call back. Keep in mind right now we're about 2 months behind as far as installations go. So if you don't hear from us right away, it's just because we don't have time to work on it right now. So I think we're booking for sometime late November. Yes. So you'll eventually get a call back from me, and we'll figure out what it is you need to do.
All right. 2011.
I was there.
Yeah, really?
Yeah. 2011 Durango with Alpine system. What should I use to add an aftermarket sub amp and sub and not have them be crossed over at such a low frequency? I don't know if the Amp Pro Sub Pro works for that. I think it does.
2011.
I think it does. Check out pack-audio.com for the Sub Pro. It's a new device they make that's designed to interface with the Alpine system and give you a flat RCA output. It's crossed over at 110 hertz, but everything below that, perfectly flat level, so you can do anything you want to the signal. Boost it, reduce it, cross it over, smack it up, flip it, rub it down. Oh!
It's another 5-star in Sacramento.
You guys have a Sacramento?
No. This is the only one.
This is it, man.
This is the only one.
Unless you know someone's stealing my logo, let me know.
Right.
We'll have words.
That's it. I mean, they can call 5-star, but...
I mean, how many cartoons are there?
Oh, yeah.
Traffic jams.
No, it's only one.
No, they're everywhere. Dude,
really?
They're everywhere. Cartoons,
they are.
Traffic jams. Every cliche audio term is out there. Audio. I mean, they all exist.
Tintin Tunes.
I don't know. Well, yeah, probably.
I know.
I left out the Need a Body bag. Thank you. Dean, I figured out how to tune my Moscone so that my 10-inch sub plays low and my DD Audio 6.5 subwoofers play about 90 hertz plus. Based on your advice, it worked fantastic. Thank you so much for your advice. Hey, man, I'm glad my advice works. I try. And if you have success, then my try paid out. So
there you go.
And that's why we do this. I'm thinking about participating in iASKA next year. or the year after for the first time. Kind of nervous because I work for a shop, so I can only do Pro-Am class. All right.
That was my question too.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. All right, let's be honest. Whether you're
car toys, that's a good one. Car toys, he's everywhere too.
they're everywhere.
I have a lot of car toys.
Here's the thing. You only get one spin, man. You only get one spin around the sun on this one, all right? Or you get one life. If you want to compete. The only thing they're going to tell you is what you did wrong. That's it. And they might tell you what you did right. And you know what you do? You go back and you change it. Because nobody cares but you. If the judge says, hey, man, this is a little bit wrong, no problem. Go back, you fix it. You try it again. There's nothing wrong with competing. There's nothing wrong with not being perfect. You don't have to be perfect. The whole point of compete. Listen, we go to these parking lots where these guys are having the shows, and it's the same 10 guys every month. They haven't done anything different. Their cars all look the same. You know, all they've done is like put a tweak here, a tweak there. But some of these builds are 10 years old, 5 years old. And it's like, dude, don't you think you should be ripping this thing out and making something new? No. This is the way I like it. This sounds great. All right. The joy of these, but these guys all hang out. They all know each other. They're all like buddies. It's like, you know, Jeff Smith has made a ton of friends.
Be like Nike, buddy. Just do it.
Just do it. So, yeah, don't be afraid. Don't wait another year. Put something in your car. Compete. What are you going to lose? Nothing. You know?
Just money.
Nah, not even money. I mean, what, 10, 15 bucks? Give me a break.
No,
I mean, who cares? The experience you'll gain is worth it.
Yeah.
If it's something you want to do,
I definitely want to do it. I definitely want to do it. And now you answer my question. Because you work for a shop, you have to enter as a pro. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you're fired.
Okay, I'm fired.
It's only money. It's only money and time, man.
It's only money and time. Hey,
you know
guys.
what? You can make more money, and if it's time well spent, then it was time well spent.
There you go. Hey, guys, I just bought a set of GZ.
That's ground zero.
UT, yeah, the uraniums. 2500 hertz, 25K, 300, 12 octave. Does anyone have a recommended cab high quality, Dean?
Not off the top of my head, no. Alpine, I can't think of the brand of capacitors that they use. You could probably go onto Alpine's website because Alpine makes their R and X series out of a really high-end capacitor that they brag about. So if I was trying to find, I don't have one out, or I would just, do we? No, I don't have one out. But I would just like go on to Alpine site and see what if they in their like, hey, look what we use, the brand capacitor that they use. But yeah, there you go. Although, or just buy the ground zero passive crossovers because they're really nice.
Oh yeah,
I mean you can get them separately.
All right.
Do you think the Kicker 6x9 components and the mid older would be good fit in a new RAM in active configuration? What amp would you recommend? So if I was going to do, if I was going to do a Kicker 6x9 component, so are we talking like the older 6x9 mid bass and the newer mid range? I think is what you mean. Is that you getting that vibe from this? I don't know what I'm getting. But either way, if I was going to do a set of kickers, I would do the Kicker mid bass and the new Kicker middler, and I'd just put a key on the front. Especially if I was keeping the factory radio, I'd just throw a key on and call it a day. Yeah, that'd sound really nice. That'd be easy. It'd sound good. I'd walk away, drop the mic, boom, there you go.
Dude, that would be cool.
Thank you. That guy said it right here. Bending capacitor. Thank you.
That's
them.
Thank you. This
guy's on point.
Yeah.
You're the man. He's calling. He's picking it up.
All right. So that would be cool if you in the RAM you can put the 2.5 in the tweeter close.
Those work too. That's them.
There you go.
Yep.
That would be cool. So you can have a 3-way.
Put the tweeter up there.
Put the tweeter and the 2.5.
Oh, like the guy did the other day. Did you see that? No, you didn't see that. The guy did that in the Chevy. That was pretty nice. He did a nice job, too. I have the 6x9 El Fuego. Here we go. I have the 6x9, the Miller in my phoner, and it's awesome. 100 to 200 watts is golden. There you go. Yeah, I knew we had that in there. There you go. Fernando.
Yes.
I'm on the fence about competing, too. but it's so much fun. I'm going for it when the system comes together. Just hurry up, put the system together.
Yeah,
man. The plan was to get Jeff on the show at some point and just kind of talk you through the whole thing, but then
everything happens.
It's ridiculous. Right now he's in California, so but we need to get him on. Maybe all right, so what month is this right now?
September.
When is this show? When do we end this show?
I think it's next month. The finals.
Oh, I was thinking we started at 6:07. Okay, I'm just trying to think of what time it is. Because the clock now is buried by the TV.
Yeah. But...
I'm trying to think. 2 weeks, and then let's try to get him on before SEMA. Before SEMA, because SEMA's in November.
Because right now, look, he has to do shows. He have to go to SEMA. So
I was saying if we get him on before SEMA, so when we get back, that'll give us 2 weeks before SEMA. So if we can get him on one of those weekends and just kind of talk about competing, because right now competing's over, so that'd be the best time to have him on.
Well, not over. They're still going. The finals are coming.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Okay. I just realized that a peanut scanned my tooth. If I want to run touch-link cable from my Pack Amp Pro from behind the head unit to my Moscone, which is located behind the factory Sony amp, with the signal sense, diminished quality at that length. No. However, you need to get a good touch-link cable. Get a thick one. Don't get a thin one.
Do you have one?
I think I do. Hold on. I might have given it to Jeff back. Oh, no. I gave. So this is one I picked up off of Amazon, because the problem we were running into is that. Whoa!
What happened?
You just shut off the whole system.
Oh, no.
Oh, don't do that again.
Oh, sorry.
No, you dropped it on the cable. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can pick it back up now. You just hit the HDMI. So yeah, that one's good. Oh, you're on.
Okay.
You're on. All right, hold on. Let me go to your camera 3. All right. So this is the brand here.
Can you see it?
I don't know. Let me come down. Hold on. Let me show.
I'm gonna remove it.
Yeah, let me remove the comment. Where did it go?
Just go right
there. All right. So I'm removing the comment. So there's the website on the bottom. Cable Matters. All right. So this is a Cable Matters cable. So they get kind of long. I don't remember how long this is. This is 15 feet. But as you'll notice, it's like the size of an 8 gauge. And I did that because what we found is that when we're using the really thin ones in a car, it's too easy to want to pinch them. And you really need kind of a sweeping, even this is too much. You don't want to do this. You need kind of a sweeping run. So I found a very thick one so that you're not going to pinch it and pinch the light. So yeah, there you go. And I bought 2, and I had to give one to Jeff because he was like, I need something better than ours because they suck. I was like, yes, they do, which we found out the hard way. The short ones work great. The long ones they make suck. Hey, Dean and Fernando, hoping you guys got the audio guys to participate in the holiday giveaway. We got tons of, everyone remembers the 12 Days of Christmas, which was insanity. But I can tell you right now, there won't be a 12 Days of Christmas this year.
No.
There might be a 2 Days of Christmas this year, maybe a 3 at best. But getting any manufacturer to
honestly,
come off with some product would be
really don't want to do that. The reason why is because the situation right now, even all the stuff is just waiting, This year might be the year for T-shirts. Just give away T-shirts and hats. The T-shirts still though.
But they got no hats.
Yeah,
they're like, they're on the boat.
It's going to be really hard, but we'll see.
Using pack IP72 on a 2016 Fusion, and when the car turns off, there's a pop. What delay do I need? I think the TR4 and probably the LC1 would fix that. I think just the LC1I would fix it. I wouldn't worry about it. I would just try the LC1.
The TR4 is going to give you a delay.
You could probably use just the TR4, which is what's built into the LC7 is the TR4. So I would just screw it and go to the LC7.
LC1i.
Yeah, that. Sorry. Having a hard time here.
Yeah.
What subs do you recommend with my mobile ES speakers? Sundown, Neos, FIs, Acoustic Elegance, or mobile ES subs. I'm a brand guy. I'm not gonna lie. You just mentioned some really awesome subs, but I'm still trying the mobile ES subs, just because they look really nice and everyone else like. Here's my thought on this. Every brand, every sub you mentioned there is a phenomenal sub. They're all like badass, beat down the street. Ooh, yeah. But how many buddies do you know have the mobile ES subwoofers? So when you roll up with your subwoofers and they're banging down and everyone's like, bro, what do you have? And you pop open your trunk and you show some mobile ESs, everyone goes, damn, really? And you go, yeah. Poof. Go get your cheese sticks.
Yeah.
So that's my recommendation. I'm that kind of guy. You know, I used to, that was what I like to do. What do you got in there?
Yeah.
A 10. Really? Yeah. Bye. Anyways.
Yeah.
Dean looked at the clock as I typed it. I know, Fang. I was, you know,
yeah.
I miss it sometimes, but I'm glad you keep track of the time.
You're good, man. Thank you.
Yeah. Back to my previous question about the amp not shutting off. I heard adding a relay to it would shut it off. Remote wire turn on and off with radio. There again, it depends on what the amplifier is seeing. So if you accidentally hit that button and the amplifier is looking for DC offset and it's getting it, but it's getting it all the time, the amplifier is never going to shut off. If there's an output problem on the radio, then yes, a relay would help that. But a relay is an electronic on-off switch, all right? And how a relay works is, all right, when you go home and you walk into your house and you click a switch on, you're completing a circuit. But you're the first circuit. You're going click and your light turns on. And then you go click and your light turns off. A relay works the exact same way, but it's using something other than your finger. So it's using an output from a radio. All it's doing is shifting, meaning, let's say your radio puts out 300 milliamps, but you need 5 amps. Well, you use a relay. Use the 300 milliamps to turn on the relay that will then pass a higher amperage through it to turn on whatever it is you're trying to do. So if you're just turning on one amplifier, there's no reason why you would need a relay to do that, unless the relayed output on the radio is bad, in which case you could just hook it up to the red wire, which is accessory, which means it'll just shut off with the car anyways.
Bye, El Fuego. Happy 17th anniversary, man.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yes. Hey, guys.
Yes.
I got a Phoenix Gold amplifier with the PAG LC2i2.
Yep.
LC2i and a 2017 Explorer, not Sony radio. My amplifier turns on. My sub makes weird noise when the Explorer is off.
Ooh, you're getting the ground noise. On the LC2i, there's a couple ground switches on it. Try flicking those and see if those change that. That would be where I would go. I need a zip tie shirt, Dean.
Huh?
Sorry, Fran. Fran.
Fran?
He's gonna be Fran from now on.
Hey, Fran, Sean.
It's not Red. It's Fran.
What's up, Fran?
We just call him Fran.
Yeah. All right.
Got it.
I just got an epicenter list, listening to a lot of low
Hertz music.
Yeah. I have not set up the epicenter yet, but should it get the crossovers? Module and advice?
Advance.
Okay, yeah.
I got an Epicenter 1, listening to a lot of low hertz music. I have not set up the Epicenter yet, but should I get a crossover PFM module in advance, or will I not need it? Well, so the Epicenter has the PFM built into it that's already on, so you don't actually need one. It's basically like a subsonic filter. If your amplifier has a subsonic filter on it, you could always just have that on. The Epicenter Micro Mini, whatever they're calling it, is going to have an external PFM, so you can turn it on and off. Because some guys want to play, 20 hertz all day long, and the PFM will prohibit them from doing that. So I wouldn't. I don't know if any of that answered the question, but I'm going to give it a go.
All right. Dean,
Yeah.
is there any difference running a mono amplifier to power a sub versus getting a 4-channel amplifier bridging 2 channels?
No, there's no difference at all. Power is power. The amplifier doesn't care. Sub doesn't care. All it wants to see is power. So if you had a 400 watt mono block or you had a 4-channel amplifier where you bridge 2 of the channels and got 400 watts, it's not going to give a crap. It just wants to see it going on. Where you could run into a difference is in the amplifier that you're using. So for example, like a sub amp monoblock may have like a subsonic filter, a bass boost, an 18 dB per octave crossover, and your standard 4-channel amplifier, which some of them do have all those same features, but it might not have any of that stuff. So from the pure enjoyment factor of it, like having bass boost, like a punch EQ or something like that, that might be the difference that you're looking for. However, the question you asked, there is no difference. Can I get a shout out, please? I love your videos.
What's up,
Steve? What's up, Steve? How's it hanging, bro?
I like your glasses, Steve.
You got glasses like that. Those are like hater blockers.
Dean.
All right. Remember, only the LC2i Pro has the ground switch. If he uses the LC2i, there is no ground switch for the guy. It's inside. It's inside. You gotta pull it apart. There's a ground switch inside of it. I'm pretty sure on the LC2i, it's in the inside. The truck is in the back.
This is good.
I think it's inside.
Dean.
Yeah.
Where are the drone videos?
There's one for the audio control, and then I don't think we filmed any in Oklahoma. We will be taking it with us to Arizona. I wish I could get some time to actually play with it. I should take it home this weekend. Maybe I can get some time to play with it this weekend.
Where's the best place to find Morel speakers? Where you are?
Well, I mean, your local dealer would obviously be good. If you don't know, I mean, I believe there's a dealer locator. Otherwise, just go to Instagram, Morel USA, and ask. I think Crutchfield also sells them.
I was about to say, you can call Paul.
If you're in the U.S., you could call Paul and he will ship them to you. Yes, you could also do that.
Yeah.
Chris Harris.
Hang on.
Okay, sorry. That one. Maestro AR. I answered this one.
Sorry.
Maestro AR and use an RCA1. Can I use any amp? Sorry about the misunderstanding. Okay. No, you can't. That's only on, like I said, the answer was the same. So on certain D models of ARs, you can, but on the A models, no. So it's just different applications. It's like a per thing. So you kind of have to, it's annoying. I know. You have to go and check each one.
Christian Harris.
It's my son's birthday. Well, happy birthday, son of Christian.
Happy birthday, man.
Woo! Big time. And with that, you know what that means, Fernando?
Yes.
That means like it's time to head over to here. Hey, let's turn that off. And there you go. DNF Swag is a place you can go and find. Go ahead and turn that off.
Yeah, okay.
There you go. You got to click off. There you go. DNF Swag is a place you can find all the cool clothes, all the cool apparel, all that fun stuff. And of course, DNF Tool Drawer is going to be the future site of the IRTA2. So if you're interested, we'll let you know, of course. But DNF Tool Drawer is a place you can go find all the cool tools that we use in our installation, as well as soon you'll be able to order your own IRTA2. If you don't know what the IRTA2 is on this channel specifically, you can go back and we have 3 videos, not 4, 3 videos that we put up on the IRTA2. You can kind of get an idea of some of the things. There will be more videos, everything that we could possibly do with an IRTA2. We're going to make a video for and show you guys how to do it. And, for the one guy that didn't really understand why finding your door chime is important in certain applications, well, I'm sorry you didn't get it. But hey, for the rest of you guys that know why we put that up, right? Isn't that going to be awesome?
Not everybody's going to make it.
Not everyone is going to make it.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching.
You guys have a wonderful weekend as always. We'll see you back here Monday. We'll have we'll be back to doing the fundamentals.
Fundamentals
It's
on
been
Monday,
so long,
yeah.
I couldn't remember what it's called. So we'll have fundamentals back here on Monday. I believe it's going to be AC voltage with your digital multimeter.
Part 2.
Part 2. So DC was first. AC, we're finally getting around to it like a month and a half later.
Woo-hoo.
Way to go, guys. All right, you guys have a wonderful weekend. All right, remember, it's the weekend. Don't do anything stupid. Uber or Lyft are cheap. Get your pets spayed and neutered and do all the fun stuff that you normally do.
Bye, guys.
Bye.